Janet, is it you? We never got any postcards.
Sorry.
What happened?
You got no complaints.
Nice to see you, ladies.
One-minute warning there, Mayor.
Got it.
Put my phone on stun.
Hey, you need any help with any of that?
Got it covered.
7
Sure.
o'clock.
No problem.
I didn't mean to whack you there. I didn't know there was that many.
Ready, Nancy? You should have seen what was here over the weekend.
I saw it.
Yeah, I saw
That's what
All right.
happens when they don't have one a week before.
You guys ready?
Yep.
I would like to call the 7 PM work session meeting to order. Roll call, please, Nancy.
Mr. Boonstra?
Here.
Mr. Lane?
Yeah.
Mr. Madigan?
I hear.
Mr. Shanley?
Here.
And Mayor Melchiong.
Here. Can you please read the open work session statement?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. This regular work session meeting of the Wykoff Township Committee is now in session. In accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, notice of this meeting appears on our annual schedule of meetings. A copy of said annual schedule has been posted on the bulletin board in Memorial Town Hall. A copy has been filed with the municipal clerk and has been posted on our municipal website. A copy has also been emailed to the Record, the Ridgewood News, and the North Jersey Herald News, all newspapers having a general circulation throughout the Township of Wykoff. At least 48 hours prior to this meeting, the agenda thereof was similarly posted, filed, and emailed to said newspapers.
Thank you. Can you please confirm Finance Committee has reviewed and signed vouchers?
They are nearly completed, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
Hand hurts.
Can I please have a motion to open the 10-minute public comment period, 10-minute public comment period, 2 minutes per speaker for public comment on any governmental issue that a member of the public feels may be of concern to the residents of the Township of Wykoff?
So moved. Second.
Mr. Boonstra?
Yes.
Mr. Lane?
Aye.
Mr. Madigan?
Yes.
Mr. Shanley?
Yes.
And Mayor Melchiong.
Yes.
With an affirmative vote, the motion is approved.
Please step forward to the microphone if you wish to make a comment.
Seeing and hearing no one, I move to close public comment.
Second.
Mr. Boonstra?
Yes.
Mr. Lane?
Aye.
Mr. Madigan?
Yes.
Mr. Shanley?
Yes.
And Mayor Melchiong.
Yes.
With an affirmative vote, the motion is approved.
Thank you. Matt, could we please have our business meeting agenda report?
Sure. So first, just item on this on the 7 o'clock meeting, you'll see item number 10. We do have the public hearing with regard to the acquisition of the Bergen County Open Space Trust Fund grant. That'll occur towards the end of this meeting. And then moving on to 8 o'clock, we have a fun-filled meeting, I would say. We're going to start off with our 2024 municipal budget public hearing. And then the necessary resolutions to adopt the 2024 municipal budget. We'll be introducing 5 ordinances, all having to do with capital improvements that are being approved as part of the municipal budget. Approval of 2 firefighters coming from junior firefighters to full firefighters, and a whole bunch of other special events. And then we have our public hearings on 2 ordinances. The first one has to do with the special assessment for the lead service line replacement program that will be conducted by Ridgewood Water. We'll have representatives from Ridgewood Water and their environmental engineering consultants at our 8 o'clock meeting as well, and if there's any questions. And then finally, an ordinance to amend the speed limits on several roadways in the township that were outlined at the last meeting. Moving on to some status updates. First off, it's with a heavy heart that I have to announce that our court administrator, Kim McWilliams, passed away about 10 days ago after a very valiant battle with cancer. Just I want to ask you to keep her family and children in your prayers. The mayor and I attended a meeting last Friday with regard to guide rails on Route 208. I'll let him speak more to that during his report. We're currently working or have worked on several grants The grant writer submitted the federal appropriation request to both Senators Booker and Menendez with regard to, and we are finishing up the application to Congressman Gottheimer's office, which is due on April 19th for the funding for the installation of a sanitary sewer trunk line between Franklin Ave and Russell Avenue along Wyckoff Ave. This project's goal is to extend the sanitary trunk sewer, that we have the ability to expand sewer service into the area adjacent to Wyckoff Avenue, which will feed approximately 196 additional residential homes. Will open up the sewage connection to about 196 additional residential homes. Our grant writer also worked with the fire department, and we were able to submit a grant related to the recruitment and retention of volunteer firefighters through the FEMA SAFER grant. SAFER stands for the Staffing for Adequate Fire and Emergency Response. We submitted for $400,000, covering a broad range of categories, including personal protective equipment, incentives for operational activities, and tuition assistance for higher education. This is the first time that we've submitted for the SAFER grant, so we've submitted for 2 FEMA fire grants this year, this and AFG. We also submitted to Firehouse Subs Public Safety Foundation for their first responder grant program. We applied for the acquisition of a Lucas automatic CPR device for the police department, for around $20,700 we applied for. Along with the New Jersey Law and Public Safety Click It or Ticket grant opportunity for the seatbelt enforcement campaign that they sponsor. We've also submitted our declaration of intent to submit the Bergen County Open Space Grant, to submit for the 2024 Open Space Grant for work at Polis Field. Tonight is the public hearing for the submission of this grant. We're applying to take back some of the Bergen County Open Space dollars to our residents to assist in constructing a lacrosse practice area at Polis Field next to the playground where the current adult exercise equipment is located. Our plan will then be to relocate the adult exercise equipment that can be reused to a more suitable location. We're talking possibly moving it to Russell Farm. We are applying for $82,450, of which there is a 100% cash match, which would come from donations through our municipal donations account, trust fund, and our municipal open space trust fund if we need to make up any of the difference.
And those that have expressed the interest in doing that in memory of,
Correct.
so the combination of all of those.
Correct.
Just
So
to be,
the
just to
only
be,
issue-
just to be clear, 'cause
Yeah, so
they
the
have,
only issue that needs to come is any donations for that actually have to come through our
Through,
trust fund
correct,
account
yeah,
so
yeah.
that it can be accounted for with.
right, not to interrupt you, but just to make sure that's clear, because
Yes.
they're participating and they want
Yes.
to do this
Yep.
daily, yeah.
All right. As was mentioned at the last meeting, we ran into an issue with the depth of the gas main on Grandview Avenue, specifically between the Route 208 North ramp and St. Nicholas Church entrance. I want to thank the reps from PSE&G who met with us about 10 days ago and then met with us again today and have agreed to get on site quickly, meaning starting next Monday, to lower that gas main between the Route 208 North ramp and St. Nicholas Church. Unfortunately, this will require the full closure of that section of the roadway starting at 6 a.m. next Monday, 24/7 for about 2 weeks. Everyone needing to access the church, Ravine, any of the side streets across from Coolidge School or Coolidge School itself will need to access it from either Ravine or Wyckoff Avenue. The Coolidge School principal was notified today by the police department and will be following up with a letter to the parents that'll go out before they come back from spring break, hopefully get that out on Thursday. And also, as always, we'll keep everyone posted through social media and on our e-news. You might have also noticed that while it's spring break, there has been a lot of work on Grandview. Ridgewood Water has begun the installation and is making excellent progress on their raw water line that needs to run through the Coolidge School property, or around the Coolidge School property. That project has been planned for a while, but they do have a hard stop at Friday. They know that whatever they don't get done by Friday, they need to wait until school is done and they come back in July because we can't have them working directly in front of the school. So they do know that, and we'll be, we will be working with them to get them back towards the end of June, early July. Bergen County Department of Public Works Mosquito Control Division will begin its mosquito control program on April 30th, which runs through October 31st. More information can be found on the County Department of Public Works website. Upgrades began yesterday to the gas pumps located behind our DPW garage. They are expected to be down this week and probably next week. Upgrades include new pumps and computerized access control and logging that for the gas that's being dispensed, which will help us with our billing to the Board of Education, who uses our gas pumps as well. The first year of LEAD, which is the Law Enforcement Against Drug Program, has concluded at Eisenhower School by the Police Department. I'll let the Police Department talk. The Police Committee, we met last week, but that's the program that used to be DARE, and look forward to that moving forward next year. And I want to thank Mr. Madigan and Mr. Boonstra for greenlighting that last year when they were the Police Committee. It was brought up at our last meeting about the fireworks and looking into the possibility of having a rain date on Sunday the 29th of September. The Fireworks Committee will be meeting on May 1st, and I'll report back at the next Township Committee meeting. And finally, just a reminder that Thursday morning is the Bergen County Joint Insurance Fund Safety Awards Breakfast. I think that's my report for today.
That's it. All right. Thank you, Matt. Township Committee reports. Tim, you want to start?
Yeah, I'll be very quick. As the fire commissioner, I was at the firehouse for their monthly meetings, except the monthly meetings didn't really happen because the chief was at the ladder truck meeting where they were figuring out all the controls where they were going to go in the truck so that the driver and the co-pilot, would have their controls, and the amount of time they spend to make sure that it's placed in the right place on the truck was just amazing. Like, listening to all the different opinions of all these experienced firefighters was just amazing, including Bill Brock's son, Tim, which was great. I see Bill's in the audience, so I got to give his son some credit to being part of it. And the fire chief was also there. So it was a good meeting, and it's just amazing how much time they spend to make sure this gets done right. And that's all I got today. So thank you.
Roger?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Our administrator does such a fine job. It leaves little to be discussed, but I would like to say that with regard to Grandview, there is a lot of progress, and yes, it's going to be disruptive, but I think we can work with the parents, students, and Brian Zip to ensure that there's safety throughout the time when the school is open and work is in progress. You mentioned fireworks having a rain date. After we have the meeting on the 1st, I'm sure we'll confirm that, but I believe that that it's already been checked with the fireworks company and they're available to do that, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, thank you. The speed limit changes will be done tonight. I think that's something that anybody that rides around town would think that we need to slow down. So I think it's a great thing, and hopefully we can even expand upon that in the future. I just want to thank Tom and Rudy for the LEAD program, Law Enforcement Against Drugs. I happen to have a place in my heart for that because the person that started the DARE program was from New Milford. He was a patrolman named Nick DeMauro, and he ran DARE for many, many years. And when I was the mayor in New Milford, we instituted the first program of DARE in the entire tri-state area. So Nick is now the CEO of Law Enforcement Against Drugs, the program, and to see it here so many years later with the iteration with LEAD is just really great. The thousands of kids that not only do they get an education about staying away from drugs, but it builds a relationship with those young kids and the police department, which I think is just a fabulous thing. So thanks, guys, for kicking that off. And that's it, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Roger.
Yep.
Tom?
Okay, sadly, I attended Kim McWilliams' wake. Matt told us she passed away. She lost a valiant battle. She was our court administrator, and she was definitely revered by all, and we're going to miss her. and he's all sent condolences to her family. I attended the Chamber of Commerce meeting this morning. It was well attended. It was over the Larkin House, and they got a good group of people in the chamber. And I think, to me, one of the hits was Susan Litt was there, extending how excited they are at Partners in Pride. The weather's cracking. We need people to water pots. So a lot of people help out with the pots throughout the town, the flowers. So if anybody can help out there, Partners in Pride, Susan Litt. And attended the rec board meeting a week ago Monday night. It was pretty uneventful, although we did talk about the grant that we're going to be officially applying for, and talk about the lacrosse wall and all the positives with the youth over at Poulos. So that was one of our positives. It was a good group of guys. I think everybody was there but one. And finally, I note on the agenda this evening, as my tradition, I'd like to congratulate Michael Vanderplatt and Ryan Brock, who will both be memorialized tonight as junior firefighters. And I think it's nice I recognize someone in the audience as well. It's celebrate a nice family tradition of volunteer firefighters. So I can't believe those kids are 17, but it's a nice event, and we always like to congratulate our volunteer fire department. That's all I have. Wow, that's fantastic. God bless. Stay safe, gentlemen. Okay, thank you.
Rudy?
Thank you, Mayor. On Saturday, April 6th, I attended the compost container workshop at Russell Farms Park. Roger Lane was there, the mayor was there as well. It was a pretty good group. It was a cold, windy morning, but there were maybe 30 people there, guys, something like that. And I understand from Beth Fisher that the sales are, generated some sales of compost containers, so that was a worthwhile exercise. Tom Durkin was there from the DPW to assist, appreciate his help. On Tuesday the 9th, we had a Historic Preservation Commission, and Chairman Swenson was not there, so we moved ahead anyway, and we approved moving forward with listing about 30 more structures in town, which will go on our local list of historic or significant structures, including Town Hall. Just so you know, that was on that list and it's moving forward. So if there's more discussion we need to have, we can have that. On Wednesday, I attended the planning board along with the mayor. I can run through the agenda real quickly. We memorialized 2 resolutions. One was Harker's Jewelers for their expansion program there. The other was a home on the corner of Cresthaven and I forget the other street. Anyway, for an addition, for a fence in the front yard. We gave an extension to Tracy Eyes. Their variance had expired for their addition they want to put on the building at the corner of Franklin and Wyckoff. And the board granted an extension through September so they can get their plans together and get some financing in place and move ahead with it. There was an application for public hearing with Cornerstone Christian Church. It was for a handicap ramp to the home that's on the site, and also an auxiliary generator. And there was an extended discussion about with the generator, whether it would be gas or diesel powered. And there was also some discussion about the plantings and the screening between the church property and the neighbors. And it was agreed to carry the application until the May meeting. I too attended Kim McWilliams' wake on Thursday with Tom Madigan. Very sad to lose her. She really fought her cancer valiantly. She did a great job as our court administrator. She generated a lot of revenue and saved us a lot of money. So she really did a great job, and she will clearly be missed. This morning, I too attended the Chamber of Commerce meeting, and it was a good meeting. I spoke to the woman who from Gopherbrook Poultry Farm, who actually wrote the grant that they received from the federal government for their expansion. And I asked her how it was going there, and she said the applications are ready to come into the planning board for site plan approval, and she believes that Mark DeGennaro already has been given the engineering report. So that's moving forward, which is good. Mayor, I think that's all I have.
All right, thank you, Rudy. As Rudy mentioned, I said the planning board with Rudy, which you just covered before, also at the composting workshop. Library board meets tomorrow night. Memorial Day Parade Committee meets next week. Just a reminder, the military tribute banners are still on sale for reorder or new orders till the end of next week. You can find the information on our website and our email blast. And then just lastly, Matt mentioned this, and if I miss anything, just jump in, Matt. We attended a meeting about guide rails along 208. Our District 40 representative, Senator Corrado, Assemblyman DePhillips, and Assemblyman Barlas put that together with the acting commissioner and chief of staff of the DOT. It was very informative. We were there along with Mayor Franklin Lakes and the administrator from Ridgewood, who's part of District 40 in Bergen. And there's a few different ideas that were floated to help with not just the safety, but also some of the screening, some of the privacy along 208. One of them was about berms and trees. But we are gonna, I believe in a few weeks, all meet again, and we're gonna do a ride along down 208 with the DOT to see what some of the best options we could deliver along 208. Did I cover everything?
I think so.
All right, good.
Pete, if I may, I missed
Yeah.
one thing. I had it on my phone. I'm so used to reading my scratchy notes. Not used to this. Anyway, just a reminder that Team Up to Tidy Up is April 27th. We will not be meeting before then, so I'm putting a reminder out now. It's on our website. It's everywhere. We'll get the word out. But if you can make it, that would be great. And to reinforce what Tom said about Partners in Pride, they need people to water these flower pots. The flower pots are beautiful. I do 2 flower pots every summer on Main Street, and they're looking for volunteers. So if you know of anyone, or get the word out, that contact Susan Litt, because they need some folks to help water flower pots. That's it. Thank you.
All right. Township Attorney Report. Dave?
Yeah, the only thing I have is, you may recall at last meeting, I mentioned that we had entered into an agreement with Franklin Lakes about one of their residents connecting into our sewer system. And I think it was Mr. Lane had mentioned, do we have other interested residents? And Matt had mentioned, I think on Wayfair, well, the attorney from a resident on Wayfair got a hold of me, and we're in the process. Their engineers is going to talk to Mark DeGennaro, or already has, just to talk about the specifics of the hookup. But we've got a good form in place, agreement-wise. We've got the procedures down with Franklin Lakes. So I expect we'll probably have a few more that'll start looking to do that. But already we've got some that are reaching out to do it, so that's a good thing.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. All right. Could I have a motion to open the public hearing on the submission of the 2024 Bergen County Trust Fund grant application? This proposed project will consist of constructing a concrete wall for the purposes of adding an additional area for lacrosse practice, serving the 250-plus youth lacrosse players in town. Before we open that, does Matt or Tom, do you have any comment on it?
No, that's one of the ones we reported on. We're totally in favor of it. It's very positive, and it's a great thing for our kids.
Anything, Matt?
No, I think that's
Good?
it.
Perfect.
I'd like to move the motion, if I may.
Yes.
Second.
Mr. Boonstra?
Yes.
Mr. Lane?
Aye.
Mr. Madigan?
Yes.
Mr. Shanley?
Yes.
And Mayor Melchiong?
Yes.
With an affirmative vote, the motion is approved.
Seeing no one, I move to
First
close the
read.
public comment.
Just it, just a public hearing, if anybody wanted to talk.
Yeah, just public hearing. All right.
Tim
Tim made a motion to
I'll
close.
second it.
Second, Roger?
Sure.
Mr. Boonstra?
Yes.
Mr. Lane?
Aye.
Mr. Madigan?
Yes.
Mr. Shanley?
Yes.
And Mayor Melchiong?
Yes.
With an affirmative vote, the motion is approved.
All right, could I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All right.
Mr. Boonstra?
Yes.
Mr. Lane?
Aye.
Mr. Madigan?
Yes.
Mr. Shanley?
Yes.
And Mayor Melchiong?
Yes.
With an affirmative vote, the motion is approved.
Thank you, Nancy.